TV host Andy Cohen is a coronavirus survivor. Now he's in a new fight over a policy preventing him from helping other patients just because he's gay. FDA guidelines prevent men from donating blood plasma if they've had sex with another man in the past 3 months. But plasma from survivors may contain antibodies, which could help fight the virus. Cohen, as you know, is a host of What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. That's how you say it. And he joins us from his home in New York City. Good morning to you, Andy Cohen. Really good to see you.
Hi, my friend. How are you?
A lot of chatter over the weekend. Hi. I'm really glad to see you back up and running. There was a lot of chatter over the weekend about this. Many people outraged that you were treated this way, yet still others say, well, wait a second, there could be a health risk here. What was your response to the government's thanks but no thanks to you?
Well, I was disappointed. I've known in the past about the fact that gay men cannot donate blood, but I think we're in an unusual situation right now. We're in a war against a disease that we don't know a lot about, and there's an urgent need for the antibody that is in people like me who've survived coronavirus. So I just felt like, blood donations are down over 150,000. There are 150,000 less people donating blood right now. So there is an urgent need, and a special urgent need for the blood that I have. So I was disappointed. I want to help. I think that the rules should be looked at again by the FDA. There have been great strides in testing for HIV since these rules were enacted. You can get an HIV test in 20 minutes. I know, screen the blood again a second time after you donate it to make sure there's not HIV in the blood. So I just think this needs another examination. We're in an unusual moment in time right now. There is a war going on, and we're all being asked to adapt, and I think the FDA should too.
No, and that's an important point you make, that the blood is tested and you get the results back within 20 minutes. Listen, this original ban was enacted, my understanding, in 1983 to prevent potential HIV transmission, and now we're sitting here in 2020. And so it sounds like you're saying we need to reevaluate these. It seems archaic at this point for a lot of people.
It does. We're all being asked to adapt in so many ways to new things in life, and we're doing it for the greater good as a community. And I think this is something that the FDA should take a look at and say, how can we move forward? This is an FDA thing, by the way. It's not a Red Cross thing. It's not the hospital that I applied to give my blood to. It all comes to the FDA.
Well, the FDA has told us in a statement, quote, they're working on a pilot study with 2,000 men to determine whether an individual risk assessment questionnaire would be as effective as a current policy. Does that make sense to you?
Listen, if they're working on something, that makes me happy. I don't know how long that's going to take. I just want to give my blood. You know what I mean? I want to help. Yeah. And so that's what I'm looking to do. And that's why I'm talking about this, by the way. Blood donations are down. And by the way, if you're someone who's watching and you survived coronavirus, go give blood. It is needed and appreciated.
And that's why you're speaking up. Andy, but I just want to say you look good. Do you feel as good as you look? Because I'm wondering what the experience was like for you. You scared a lot of people, and there's so many different experiences about this.
There are. I had a great friend who had coronavirus, and he was about 4 days ahead of me in terms of the virus working its way through his system. So I was talking to him every day and finding out where he was. I had a less severe case than he did, but I feel good. I feel strong, and now I'm just trying to help and pitch in and do what I can just as a citizen.
Well, I know. I would think part of the hardest part would be being separated from your favorite son, Benjamin, who, by the way, was voted cutest baby of all time in People magazine. Did you see that? So how did you navigate that? Because you two were in the same house.
Cutest baby alive, Gail. Cutest baby alive.
I I heard. I heard. How did you navigate with him in the same house? How did you work that out?
It stunk, man. He was down the hall. I was in my room, basically shut out from civilization for 13 days. And, it was a killer. I could hear him. I was watching him on the nanny cam. Thank God I have an incredible caretaker for him who really did yeoman's work. But it was not great, man. Gail, is that the room that I would stay in if I crashed at your house?
No, you would stay in the guest room. I actually have a guest room with a separate bathroom. You would be well taken care of, Andy. But before we go, how are you finding happiness during these times, Andy Cohen? How's it working? How are you doing that?
I am finding happiness actually by leaning into hosting Watch What Happens Live from home every night. We're having a great time, and it's making me happy that my staff is employed and engaged, and we're getting to take people's minds off of the serious issues of the day and like lean into some fun and cocktails at the end of the night every night on Bravo.
Andy Cohen, don't ever change. We're glad you're back. We're glad you're healthy. Always good to see you. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.